Hi, my name is Rocio, and today I'm going to be talking about a moment in my life that has been completely eye-opening and has had a tremendous impact on me and my family. I'm going to be talking about my dad's trucking accident. My dad has been a truck driver for about 25 years, give or take, and his whole life has revolved around work, working day in and working day out. And that's what all of us knew already. It wasn't uncommon for us to see him throughout the week, only on weekends. And that was just life. We understood it, we got it, and we were okay with it. And one day he just went to work as usual. I went to school as usual, and we all carried on with our lives as usual. But that day, I got home and I was greeted with an empty house. I was 12 years old, and that was very rare for me to be home alone because they would have just never let me do that, not without a reason. And I didn't even think about that, because I was having such a good time on my own. And it didn't even occur to me that something could have happened. I didn't get a call from anyone telling me anything, and so I brushed it off. If no one called, then it's because nothing happened, and I let it go. But then it turned 9 o'clock and I started to worry, because that was just so uncommon that it would have never happened, never, not without a good reason. And I didn't know what was going on. I was so confused and I was scared, and I went to my best friend's house that lived right across the street, and I stayed there until someone came to pick me up at 1 a.m. and it was my mom. When we were walking home, she explained to me that morning my dad had gotten into a trucking accident. A car had swerved right in front of him and they were about to collide. To stop that, my dad swerved and he did not have enough time to brake, and the car tipped over, slid across the freeway, and he was knocked unconscious. I'm not sure about what fluid spilled onto him, but it was hot enough to leave second-degree burns all over his chest, his legs, and his backside. And this accident was bad enough that it left him in a coma for a month and in the hospital for 4 months after that. His rehabilitation was hard on all of us because he wasn't the same kind of man he was before. He was cold and he was distant, and we did our best to help him, but he was so frustrated with our help because he wanted to do things on his own. And we understood that. But after he got out, we were so happy to have him home, and he was just a shell, really. And he wasn't the same man. And it took him years for him to accept the kind of person that he was now. He didn't have the same mobility, he couldn't speak the same, he couldn't enjoy the things that he used to enjoy before, and his mentality was not the same at all either. And this caused our family to really drift apart because none of us could really get close to him. He couldn't tell us what he was feeling or thinking, and his temper just always got the best of him. And so this caused all of us to distance ourselves, some more than others. And it took him years to manage this, and we are now in a good place where we all just love each other so much, and this has brought us closer together in a way, but also made us drift apart. And so what I have taken from this is that life is just taken for granted. I took my dad for granted, and when he almost slipped away, I regretted everything I have never done for him. And this affected me in the way that I do everything I can for him to be the best daughter I can be, and to make him happy because he has been through so much. It affected me in the way that when he leaves, I pray to God that he makes it back. and I thank God when He does. And what I want you to take from it is to never take your loved ones for granted and always cherish them, because life is unexpected and things happen. Bad things happen to good people all the time. So all you can do is really just appreciate what you have and live in a loving way so that everyone knows how much you love them, because you don't know what can happen to them in the blink of an eye.